So in this video, I'm gonna be trying a new proof of concept POC for testing a web chat, which is basically gonna involve some major changes from what I've done so far, like from previous experiences, in the sense that we are now gonna be using like two browser instances, one for the test user one or the chat moderator, and another one is for the potential client, right? So this is like a web service tlk.io where you can go and create a test channel, and create separate sessions in multiple browser instances and log or join that channel by the user of your choice, right? By different users, so to speak, like test users. So yeah, let's now proceed to the Playwright framework setup specifically for this test. Alright, so let's do a little technical breakdown of this repository, this test repository right here. So this uses the Playwright as the framework, as the automation framework. And this is the package JSON. It's got like this, the main command here that you gotta use is, well, basically the setup and this one, chat end-to-end test prod. So the next one, we're having a simple .env file, which uses which has got the env name set right here, which has got the base URL set for that test chat, and also it got channel name prefix. So what does this do? Is this helps us generate dynamic channels for the specific app. The next, we got test data. Test data is stored in the form of TS module and in the form of separate constants, which are exported and can be imported in any other module. So the main thing here is here's our channel data, channel name prefix, this one, and it's also concatenates, or I don't know the correct term for this shit, but it goes in conjunction with the random date string. Well, I mean so that the channel name is always different. So this data is dynamic, and the next we got the support manager username and message, and client username and message. So I'm using the page object approach for this one, just as I always do. And here I got in the pages folder, the first thing I got is the page actions. This is basically let's say customized, a little bit tweaked here and there methods for for different UI actions, and not only, because there's also get cookie, set cookie methods, and but they can be moved to another module. So not to waste too much time on explanations here. So it kind of operates on different actions with a page, like click element, or click it with a force, or specific part of the element, press specific key, and so on and so on and so forth. I think this is a good practice to have these some at least the most basic and the most mainstream frequently used actions stored within a specific module, within a separate module as a class. And the next we got the chat page actually module or class and a page object, so which extends the page actions, so we can use these methods to interact with the web page within this page object, or within this class. And also here we got the structure. So we got the types set here for the locators and variables. Next we got a constructor, which uses it uses the page actions methods as well. And then we set the locators and the variables right here. So the base URL is also taken from the .env file. The next we got the get message container. This is a specific one, because you cannot send, if you have a locator with a part of which is dynamic, so you cannot set it directly in the constructor, so you gotta do it separately, like in this case, right? So you've got a specific method that gets the message container, which is basically in the chat, the specific message from a specific user in the chat, like given the page dump, I'm sorry. So yeah, it takes this locator and it's with a username in it, and then it chains off of that locator and gets like the post message, which is like the actual message container where the actual message text is stored or is displayed. We got a few more methods right here. So for that test, we got at first we got to create the channel, right? So I decided to make this test like fully dynamic, so like there's no like static data at all from the beginning of it. Well, except for the base URL. So first we gotta create the channel. For that we gotta like open the specific URL, wait for the page to be loaded, like then fill the element you know, with the channel name and click like join this channel. Then there's a specific which will like redirect us to this channel, but we will not be joined yet like as a user. So the next method lets us do that, like exactly that. So we do have like the channel name and username here, and yeah, as you probably noticed, these are like wrapped up in custom steps within the Playwright, as you can see right here in the console logs, but we'll get to that in a minute. So we join the channel, so we go like, once again we go to URL, but this time we provide the channel name as a part of URL. Once again we wait for the page to load, and for the network to be idle and a couple other things. So basically the next we check, like we not that we check, but we wait for a specific element to have the exact text, and that's like the channel header, like channel name. Let me just, we expect this to be like present right here, this text in this header. Okay, the next we fill like the element which is the name input. So the next we fill in the name right here, right, and press enter, just like that. So we fill the name with the dynamically generated username, we press enter, and then we wait for element like with a partial text to be present, and I'm gonna show you where it's gonna be present. So we assert that this that username is in this container. The next thing we do is we actually like send the message, and we're gonna send it like by two users and check, like do a cross check. Like one user like the support checks that the client's message, and the client checks the support specialist message. So, but we'll get to that in a sec. So we do like, what we do is like we send this message, we fill the input and press enter. So we do something like that, and then we like do this cross assertion. Let's go to our actual spec. So let's break it down a little bit, right? So we do our like the most necessary imports right here, like the test data, right? The page manager, which like actually manages the classes for for the page objects. Then we got like the before all hook, where then we got like so we like explicitly grab like the channel name to be used within the spec, so it's like the same channel for both users, for both technically speaking, for both Chrome, for both browser instances or contexts. So yeah, we got like a support specialist context, and we like invoke the browser context method, which is Playwright's native, and we do the same like for the client context. And within the support context, we invoke the page manager, and we do so within the client page, on the client browser instance as well, so that we kind of invoke, so that we can like invoke these methods like independently from one another, and they use like different data as well, right? So next we got the before all hook. So as I mentioned in here, like we create the separate context for operator, like for the support and the client, right? Yep. Let the AI actually correct me on this one. Yeah, and so we got like browser new context 1 and browser new context 2, and we name them these contexts right like this. So for one for the support and another for the client. So yeah, and then we create like the actual pages, right, for each context, and it's gonna be called like the support page and the client page, right? So we define them as pages, and they're like equal like the support context, which invokes the new page method, and client context, which also does the same thing. Then we got like we initialize the page manager for each page, which is like we basically are invoking the same instance twice to be able, as I've said, like to invoke its methods like separately and independently between these browser instances. And then the actual test starts, right? So it's named like that, so supporting client chat communications. And then we got the actual steps set. So the first step is gonna be like the support user is gonna create the channel, and this is like the page manager which we're using right here. So the next step is support is gonna join the channel, obviously. The next step is then client is gonna, go to the channel URL and join the channel. The next step is support is gonna send a message. Then the client is gonna send a message, kind of, like query response, right? And the next step is gonna be that the support checks client message. This is what I was talking about when I spoke about the cross check. So at first the support is gonna check the client message, and then the client is gonna check the support message, right? So like, once again, the cross check. It's a bit, it's a little bit of a tricky part here because when we're using like the check message in chat. So for the support, we must pass client data, and for the client, we must pass the support data. So that's the trick, which is not that difficult, I guess. Okay, now let me trigger this command and show you how it runs. Okay, so here we are waiting for this stuff. As you can see, like this is the support window and this is the client window. So here the support is in the chat, joins the chat, then the client goes to the chat and joins the chat, the channel joins the chat, then the support sends a message, the client checks the message, and the client sends the message, and the support checks the client message. So here we got the logs right here. We got the environment name production, right? So we got the root folder right here, and then we got all these steps, actually. Yeah, actually. So the first one is like, you can see like all these steps, which are like custom wrappers around these sets of methods. And the page actions also do have these custom wraparounds. This is for just for the login purposes and for possible debugging purposes as well. So I think this is pretty convenient and comfy. Lets you read the test like in the most comfortable way, because I pass all the dynamic values within the steps so that nothing is being left off somewhere, like laying out. Yeah, just nothing is being left off. The input values, everything you need to know is actually here. Another great thing here is that Playwright does record, separate instances if there's like simultaneously, if there's like two or more simultaneously opened instances of the browser, it records like the videos separately for each instance. And I can show you this like in the test results. So here we got the videos, right? And here we got like the first video. So let me remove that a little bit. So here is the, I guess this is the support instance, the support manager instance. Oh no, sorry, this is the client one, right? Because the client joins a little bit later. Yeah, this is the client. So this must be the support video. Yeah, this is the support video. As you can see, like first of all, like we generate the channel, then we join that channel, just as the test just run, right? So we just join the channel, then the client joins the channel, and the support sends a message, and the client responds. Yep, just like that. And we also can, I guess we can take a look at the Playwright report right here. So let me just go back to the terminal, trying to open this thing. So here we got logs, and we got, since the test was successful, we do not have anything displayed right here, but we can like we got all the logs right here within this report. So now let's say I want to make this test fail explicitly, right? So what I need to do for that is kind of like in the last step, I'm gonna just, you know, add the little modification to the string, which won't correspond to the actual message that was sent, you know, by the support to the client. And let's rerun this stuff, right? Listening to some vaporwave, yo. I'm just chilling and killing. Okay. So here we have our client logged in. So the support message is here, and the client message is here. And we gotta wait a little bit until that method returns an error, the method which checks the message itself. Okay, so we can see that the instances have been automatically killed, and as you can see, we got like both browser instances recordings right here, side by side.